We're gaming. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's Rivulet. You know what to expect. Still not very good at that, Chum. Slugged cat? Are you suggesting that slug cats are just regular cats that have been slugged? Slugification. That was okay. Today I'm mostly going to focus on two areas in particular, which are 5 Pebbles and Submerged Super, or not Submerged, Shaded Citadel. I think those are the two, not really difficult areas, but areas that the routes have changed a whole lot recently. Ish. I mean, you know, but because the routes are, I'm still getting used to the routes, so I need to practice them the most. I think I might move on to actually doing some attempts today too. What a funny character. Don't go too high with that. Mario 64 movement. I died. Honestly, I mean, I haven't played Mario 64. But it kind of feels like it might be similar to Rain World. Obviously it's 3D, but the way that like so many movement tech can like kind of flow into each other. I should probably use a different example, because I don't want to say things about a game that I don't know much about. I have played Mario Odyssey, or at least I'm more familiar with its mechanics, and some of the more like modern 3D Mario games. And the way that the movement in those games work is usually a very simple set of controls. Like you can move around, you can jump, And that's the majority of it, right? Maybe you can crouch too, you know. And then there is still a lot of movement and complexity. I mean, usually there's like some extra ability. You know, each of the games has some sort of extra ability that you have, but that's not too important for this comparison. Because a lot of the movement is very contextual, where you can only do the movement if you, please, like say, like there's a side flip where you turn around and jump, and that is very similar to a backflip in Rain World. I think that's like the biggest comparison I can think of at the moment, but there's a lot of stuff like that. Oops, I kind of messed this whole room up. Crawl, turn, wall climb. Is there a place I can do it in this room? Right there, I see one. So let's see if I can actually do it. Can you do it as Rivulet? Has anyone tested this? I imagine you can. Is it different for? Well, actually, I'll just find out. Let me figure out how you actually do it. Because I don't I haven't practiced it at all. I did it one time, and that was pretty much it. Yeah, it is a pretty long delay. Is that half a second? What is the frame rate? I forget. The tick rate? Oh, that was actually pretty close. But there's a pull right here, so I think I need to only tap up very slightly. That might have been it. So it is under half a second. Ooh, that was really close. I started going up a bit. Hello, welcome to the stream. There we go. That's the tech. You could do it here too. I don't think there's any spots where it's actually practical because Rivulet can already move up very quickly, you know. Yep. Very funny. It would be cool if there was a way to initiate it midair, like halfway up a wall already. Then it might actually be useful. All these bat flies are distracting me. Because having to like sit on the ground, do a backflip to get upside down, and then like slowly accelerate up, you know, it's a whole process. Whereas if you could just like get onto a wall and somehow just start sliding up it real quick, like it would actually be practical. But it's such a specific setup and it requires a crawl turn, so I don't really see that happening. Ooh. Tanuka DLO or the Mirror's Vulture? Probably Mirror's Vulture I would say, because DLLs you only need a single explosive spear. Whereas Mirror's Vulture won't even die to one explosive spear. Although you can also kill the Mirror's Vulture fairly easily with a regular grenade if you're in like underhang. Just stun them, they'll fall. The same way that it is done in that one challenge with Rivulet. Hello, welcome to the stream. Or actually, an explosive spear might be a good option. Or not explosive, electric spear. I think I might have used an electric spear for the Mirror's Vulture. Because if you can keep them perma-stunned, then it's actually quite easy to kill them even with regular spears. And DLLs are just immune to stuns, so yeah, that might be a better option, as long as you can just keep an electric spear around. Electric spears are, I mean, they're situational. They're just kind of hard to get. And then once they discharge completely, then you have to like go find a centipede, and it can kind of be a whole process just to like use it again. So it's sometimes it can be more annoying to like manage than the benefit that you get from it. But if you want to like kill a vulture, incredibly easy to do with the electric spear. The problem though, ideally you would use the electric spear to stun them and to do damage, right? But if you repeatedly re-stab them, or I guess if you just repeatedly stab them with the electric spear, then it loses charge faster. So like ideally you stab them once with the electric spear and then a bunch with a regular spear, and then maybe if you want to refresh the timer, use an electric spear again. But then like you're just kind of managing like 2 spears at the same time. Oops. Well, I didn't have a rock anyway. Or are they really common for Spearmaster? Oops. Throwing. What are all the requirements for Apex Predator? So DLL and Mirror's Vulture. Is it like Red Lizard and Red Centipede too? Oh, I actually went really low there. That's interesting. Wow, good job. That's funny. 4 different people in the chat saying the exact same answer. I mean, not like I can coordinate, like, ask only a single person to answer the question, but it's a little funny. It's funny that a King Vulture is included in that, because I think they're actually the easiest to kill out of all of them. I mean, you're Spearmasters, so a Red Lizard might actually not be that bad, because you can kind of just snipe them from long range. Ah, that stick. And Red Centipede, you actually... There's another challenge to, like, de-armor a Red Centipede. So I don't think that'd be too hard either, because you can just kind of spam 1,000 spears. Or like get them into a pipe where they can't move around that easily. Yeah, Red Centipede probably isn't that bad. Yeah, red lizards they're rough. Because even if there's situations where you think that they're injured, and you like go up closer to like take spears from them, but then they're actually still alive and they grab you real quick. Even if you manage to, I mean, actually a pretty easy way to deal with them is to give them some other creature, and then when they're bringing that creature back to their den, you can stab them from behind. And even if they drop that creature they're holding, they might just pick it up again immediately, and you can just keep doing it. And if you have an explosive spear, then it's easier to, and then, well, it stuns them for longer, so you can actually hit them with more spears afterwards. And if you're Spear Master, you know, you might have, like, a bunch of spears already prepared. Okay, I don't know why that happened. So you can, like, bring them into, like, one particular location. And then just stab them a bunch once they get there. I guess this is the right song to be playing right now. That was a nice collision. That was also awful timing on the cycle. This is one of the segments that I want to retry a bunch, so I'm gonna like do this room several times. I saw someone doing speedruns for Apex Predator, but with no perks enabled. Which, I don't know how they did that. Considering that you have to kill a TLO and a Mirror Soldier. But you don't have a Singularity Bomb, you don't have like an Electric Spear unless you have to go find one or something. Shoot, I forgot. You're supposed to like jump off that pole or something. I don't know, that sounds like kind of like an awful run, honestly. How do you even... Do you just like hope for an explosive spear or something? What do you do for the Mirror Vulture? You know, whenever I think of Mirror Vultures, I just kind of assume that they're like they might as well just be invincible. Oops, actually, that was kind of a mistake. I should have not picked it up so I could redo this with the gravity cycles, whatever. Okay, I really need to practice this jump too. How likely are Mirror Vultures to run away? Because, you know, with regular Vultures, part of the difficulty with killing them is that they'll just run away after you hit them with 2 spears, right? Do Mirror Vultures ever actually run away? I kind of can't imagine them actually leaving. And that even if they have like 1 health left, they're still going to try to hunt you down. That's my perception of them. I think you need to do this jump late. I'm like trying to figure out if the jump is early or if it's late. I think it's late. So just maybe start the slide a little bit later too. Then you have the risk of just falling off like that. Man, sometimes this jump is like way harder or way easier just for no reason. Less damage than a King Vulture, huh? This shop is weird. See, now it seems kind of consistent. Maybe I was messing up the timing on the wall pounce. Maybe I should redo some of those expeditions, but without any perks. Because I know that when I did the expeditions, I had so many perks enabled, it was kind of just trivial. Like I completed the expedition achievements pretty quickly. And I was actually a little surprised that people found it as a difficult achievement. But some of those challenges actually are... Well, I mean, some of them are kind of annoying, like getting a bunch of passages. Like the Gourmand one doesn't seem too great. The Artificer one is pretty short. I guess the Saint one would be interesting. Saint and Saint, Spearmaster. Hunter is just like a few vultures. That one isn't very interesting either. The funny thing, I don't even think that the gun is very useful for Saint. I think that perk is kind of like it's kind of a trick. Like, wow, you're Saint, so you can't use spears, but you have a gun instead, but the gun is so weak that it's like, it's barely useful for killing things. Like, the spear is actually still better. And it still does decent damage. It looks like you're throwing it really weakly, but the damage is still alright. It is reduced compared to Survivor, but I think it's okay. It's like enough. Expedition speedrun. I kind of like the idea of it just being random. Just based on starting locations, because at that point it's so random that you can't even just hope for good RNG. You know, there's some runs where, you know, there's a little bit of randomness and it makes a big difference, but, you know, eventually you can get a perfect run with, like, super good RNG, you know? But I kind of like the idea of, I did this wrong. I kind of like the idea of it just being completely random. Just good luck. I guess you'd want to get one that's close to the shelter. Also, how would you do, like, the Rivulet one? Like, would you allow perks for every character, or would you only allow perks for Rivulet or Spearmaster 2? Because that one is, like, borderline possible. okay. Oh, I'm starving. Oh, really? That's how it works? I guess it kind of makes... Actually, it doesn't make sense at all. Why is it like this? It's got a shelter again. You missed the singularity bomb? Kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? How good are the starting locations for Expedition? If I actually remember where they all are. Survivor, where are you? Survivor is in outskirts, and you start on the top of Pebbles, which is actually kind of fast, going down the wall and chimney and industrial. Those are all pretty quick regions to get down. Although, I do know from the Survivor mission speedrun that the wall is actually a very dangerous region. So actually getting down the wall would be quite difficult, and then the rest of the regions would be pretty easy. Yeah, just going down to outskirts is not too bad. For Monk starts in... Where does Monk start? What is Monk's... Does Monk start in Industrial? I think so. Industrial or outskirts. And you need to get to Sky Islands, which is kind of far away. Industrial. That mission is probably like the content that I've engaged with the least in this entire game. Like I think I played that mission for like 10 minutes total, like at most, and that was it. Just moved on. Monk is the furthest actually. Industrial to the Sky, but you can go through Pipe Yard, right? I'm still messing up that jump. For Hunter starts in Chimney, and you need to go to Farmeries, which is kind of far away actually. That one sounds further away. So you need to know you need to go through Sky Islands, or go all the way up Chimney, then through Sky Islands, then down to Farmeries, or down to Industrial. I'm forgetting the routes. Industrial. Okay. Well. Just one cycle through Sky. Yeah. And I guess if you get through Sky Islands, it's like at the very beginning of Farmeries where the location is. Yeah, that jump is weird. Yeah, so this is a theoretical, hypothetical expedition speedrun starting from the mission locations or the mission spawns, which would also include whatever the mission is. Like for Rivulets, you would have to deal with the red centipede. Seven? There we go. Just leave behind an extra rare fraction cell. Pursuit does not matter in the speedrun. Occasionally it can matter. If they're like blocking your path, but usually it's not an issue at all. Honestly, I've talked about this a little bit before. I wish Pursuit was a lot worse. Honestly. I wish there was a unique creature just for Pursuit that was actually like, that could match the player's movements in every area. Because apparently a red lizard can spawn. I feel like people have forgotten, or maybe it was patched out, or something happened, but I have not seen the red lizard in forever, but I feel like it was possible for a red lizard to spawn as the pursuer. Should have been a noodle fly. Honestly, they already pursue you, and they're like they're probably more dangerous than a red lizard if they chase you through several rooms, except for the fact that you can kill them pretty easily. But like a noodle fly is a perfect example of a creature that can fly and that has pretty like aggressive AI, you know, for how they like try to attack you. I think they're like a good like model, a good template for a real like pursuing creature. But also one that you can still like kind of juke out. Like for a noodle fly, once they try to stab you, you know, they might miss and then get stuck in the wall for a while, and that's your opportunity to escape. So that'd be pretty good, you know. Honestly, noodle fly, a decent option if they're just immortal. But what would be even better if it was some sort of very adaptable creature that would change based on the environments you're in. So if you're in like a water region like shoreline or drainage, they would be able to swim. If you were in somewhere like Sky Islands or Chimney, you know, they'd be able to like fly with more mobility. If you were in like Pipe Yard or like filtration, they would be better at crawling through tunnels. Just things like that. Because the way the pursuer works now is that, whoops, actually activated it too early. The way it works now is that in some environments they are just kind of like they can barely get you at all. Aquatic newt. What? Okay, I looked away for a second. I don't even know what just happened there. A nudifly would legit be a better creature as a pursuer than a red centipede. Because I was kind of like, I kind of hyped up pursuer a little bit. Maybe this was my own problem, but I thought that would be really interesting, like the idea of like some creature chasing you down at all times, and you get the message of you are being pursued, and maybe that one song plays. But then it's like a red centipede is like, oh, I've dealt with red centipedes before, you know, this is not an issue. Of course, I guess it depends on just how much you want the burden to actually impact the game. But I mean, hunted is a crazy difference. Like hunted is like significantly more difficult. The way that like so many creatures can pile up in a single room. Often in rooms with like tunnels or pipes that like totally block off access to the path that you're trying to go down. I mean, there's ways you can get around hunted. Basically just take a different path and all those creatures will be left behind. And it'll actually make the rest of the region more safe, because every creature is already in like a previous room. Yeah, there is an immortal newt, the one in the Artificer challenge. Alright, where's the mod? Because if you've ever been chased by a noodlefly, you know that they're actually really good at keeping up with you. And like part of the strategy with dealing with one is to wait for it to move through a tunnel and then stab it the moment it comes out, right? But if it's immortal, well, now you can't do that. You actually have to wait for it to I was sell on for so long. Maybe we should activate it earlier. Actually, you know what? I probably should activate it earlier. You know what? I'm gonna figure this out. I mean, okay, activating it like here, maybe. For whatever reason, I was swimming really slowly. Honestly, that might be faster. Because, you fall through this room quicker, you don't spend time hanging in the air. And then it activates right when you want it to in this area, roughly. And the funny thing is that they will actually keep chasing you between cycles. So if you sleep, if you're being chased and you escape by sheltering, they're gonna keep chasing you when you wake up. Also, sometimes the pursuer, the centipede, will just get distracted by attacking other things. Every other creature it runs into, it'll start a fight, and then it'll be so distracted that I'll just forget about you. Hello. Whoops, I did not mean to activate that. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, they can help you like kill a bunch of creatures for you. New meta for score runs: be pursued, be gourmand, and craft spore puffs constantly and just wait for and just kill the red centipede every cycle. Do they come back? If you kill them, will they come back in the same cycle? I kind of feel like they wouldn't, right? But also there's a possibility of like the pursuer dying by like falling or something. And it says like the pursuer is no longer whatever. But then they'll come back eventually. Of course, burdens aren't allowed in score runs, but it's an idea. Craft infinite centipedes. Do those guys even give points? I feel like they don't. You can actually see yourself better without a neuron light. That's interesting. Usually it's so bright in that room you can't even see. They're worth 4. Infinite points. Oh yeah, food. Eating food gives you points. Is that total cheese? Just spend forever eating popcorn, throwing stuff up, and then crafting like centipedes if you can. I mean, that'd be like horribly boring because you get way less points from eating food compared to like killing creatures. And you'd probably still need passages too. And it's like, how long do you want to go on with this, you know? Wait, I was like in the tunnel for a second. Could you just leave immediately? If I activated the cell there? Anyway, time to, yeah. New rule introduced. Don't do this. Yeah, always the first run. No gourmands, gourmands exist. No one wants to play gourmand. I mean, I understand, but I feel like I've seen so many people like really like gourmand. You think that some people would be enough of a fan of the character to like at least try out the like speed runs or score runs or whatever. Oh, I couldn't see myself because I didn't have the lights. I was a little confused by that. Are you trying to just stab the DLL to death? Yeah. Well, good luck. I guess Spearmaster's the character to do that on, yeah. I didn't get any rocks at all. If you turn on the crafting perk, you could make grenades pretty easily. That doesn't actually help you out at all. Now that I think about it. I guess crafting more singularity bombs, but that takes a while. Man, I really don't like that EI hop. It always like bumps into things. Oh, you do have crafting on? I guess you could try that against the Mirror's Vulture if you do it in Underhang. But actually, Mirror's Vulture spawns in Underhang are quite rare, which is actually a nice thing, but when you want to hunt one, it can be annoying. I want to skip straight towards, straight to Pebble. So, to Pebbles. Plural, multiple. For the Vulture and Shaded, well, good luck. For the garbage wastes, I guess there are like, well, the problem is that you'd be in garbage wastes as Spearmaster, so I don't think that's ever ideal. Like, you know, it's kind of rough as Artificer, but at least you're Artificer. Exterior. Ah, yes, a region with red lizards and red centipedes. What a perfect location to go to. Why can I not find rooms? Maybe I should go check out that speedrun. The Apex Predator no perks run. That seems a little crazy. This is a completely different cycle right to the last run. So I can now go up here. Fight scavs for weapons. Ah yes, an even easier idea. Fight the scavengers too. Thought the red lizards and red centipedes weren't enough. So not that, yeah, it takes like 200 spears or something. Or is it 400 for DLLs? Ah, it sucks. $200. This trap is difficult, but it's also like so useful. Yeah, you deal more than 1 damage per hit, so it should take a little bit less than that. No, the tentacles do not actually count towards damage, I don't think. And it only takes 1 spear to disable them anyway. That's probably a bad idea. That's unfortunate. I can still get in, maybe. Well, I wasted it. You can use a spear to throw boost your way in if you manage to get into the entrance. Okay, that's a bad idea too. You should, if the cycle's about to change, just wait down here. I think I'm actually messing up the timing on the wall pounce there. But I hit the wall, and I just don't do a pounce. You really don't want to do that. Yeah, that was a really bad cycle. I barely made it through this room without before the cell turned on. Turned off. Yep, you can spend as long as you want stabbing a JLL to death. It would be interesting if there was some sort of effect when the cycle ended in 5 pebbles. I don't even know if you can tell without looking at the timer, but in Moon there's like a very big difference, right? The gravity changes completely. It stops cycling on and off. Which I really enjoyed. And it makes platforming kind of interesting because some rooms are kind of hard to get through, but as Spearmaster you can kind of use spears to climb around. Yo, good job. Expedition complete. It only required 1 DLL kill. That's crazy. It's something funny. I was reading some Pearl dialogue recently. Or I didn't like read them on purpose, but I just saw them anyway, but it's funny how much the vanilla Pearls talk about completely random, unrelated stuff. There's a whole lot of dialogue from the ancients themselves where they just talk about something. And it's just, or maybe the iterators. I got so. Maybe it's like something that the iterators are talking about. Not like Spearmaster kind of discussions, not like the Sky Islands Pearls, but you know. But there's so many Pearls that just talk about just completely random nonsense. Maybe I could find some examples. Considering the 8th and the 26th amendments to the Confucius Dogma, we are apparently supposed to take for granted that a meaning collector point inversion is the only way to approach what has later become referred to as noise milking, or occasionally rock swatting. I will argue my disagreement with this, not in regards to kind, but in regards to, could it say volume? Actually, are you getting anything out of this? Yeah, that's a good one. The farm raised pearl. Oh yeah, I think I know that one. It's the shipment of. On regards of the by spiritual splendor eternally graced people of the congregation, jumpscare, of never dwindling righteousness, we wish to congratulate, oh so thankfully, this facility on its loyal and relish services. Yep. I kind of like this dialogue. There's another one. It's a methodology for global ascension, of course. Quite good. Although the peripheralists or slabmongers certainly wouldn't agree. Who are those? I think it's the only time these two names are mentioned. The peripheralists and slabmongers. Like those are just made up for that one pearl. Yes, it was from Oliver's stream. Those are the pearls he got to read recently. I really hate that timing. You actually kind of like want to go slowly. Like, if you go too fast, then and the cycle does not line up there. Actually, what am I doing? I'm just gonna go straight to shaded. Also, don't mind the ambient sounds repeating. Actually, I should stay in this region. And the ambience isn't ambient. No, it's a little much. Guy from Pikmin. That's not even the right name. It's Olimar. That is a funny idea. Replace the Pikmin with like. You got Rivulet for the blue ones, Artificer for the red ones, and then, oops, this is the totally wrong strategy. There's no yellow, there's no like electric Slugcat. What are the other colors? There's a whole lot of them now. There was another game. I don't know if there's any new ones from that game. I'm not really familiar with it. Kind of infuriating to watch. I mean, that's how it is playing Rain World when you don't know anything about it. Purple Pikmin are gourmand, yes. Extra damage. I find it funny. No, not funny. And fascinating the way his theory of the game's lore is evolving over time, but also the way that there's certain bits of knowledge that he's yet to acquire and that are totally throwing his theories all over the place. Because he doesn't really understand the purpose of the great problem. Because, I mean, the way that I interpret it is that the great problem is trying to find a way to ascend without the use of the void fluid. Because the void fluid leads to echoes. And the ancients are terrified of the echoes. And they're like, please, we need to find another way to do this that doesn't have a risk of, like, becoming an echo, right? That's my interpretation of the great problem. Right? But he doesn't know anything about echoes. He's seen, like, a handful of their dialogue, obviously. And I think that he knows that they're ancients. Some of them talk as if they're ancients, right? Because they are. But he doesn't know why the echoes exist, and I feel like the echoes explain a lot. Although I don't know if there's a pearl that like explains that. Actually, hold up. I can look. The farmer is pearl, which is one that's really hard to get. I believe that's the one that you have to use the deer to get. So like I can't actually imagine him getting it. I don't know, maybe. What does this pearl say though? No, this doesn't say anything. It mentions that that echoes are a thing, right? I don't know if there's a pearl that explains the connection between the echoes and the great problem. And why the echoes, or why the iterators were created in the first place. Talking about rainbow lore, look, this is a pretty common occurrence. Rainbow lore is interesting, and speedruns are boring, so I think there's an obvious connection there. Hello. Welcome to the stream. That's a bad idea. There's only one pearl that mentions echoes specifically. There's a lot more about iterators. Looking through pearl dialogue. That's the one about drinking a river. Do you know Sliver of Straw? She's quite legendary among us. I find it's a little bit unfortunate that Oliver gave so many pearls to Pebbles, because I think that some of his dialogue is a lot less interesting than Moon's dialogue. Because the interesting thing about Pebbles is the contrast between his dialogue and Moon's dialogue, right? But I think that Moon's dialogue gives more information and is more accurate to like the base game's lore, you know? I mean, he did bring some pearls that were previously read by Pebbles. He did bring those pearls back to Moon, too. But because he played Artie first, he assumed that that every character could go to Pebbles to read the pearls. But even though it's actually just Artificer as the exception. I think he brought pearls to Pebbles as Gourmand, and then got killed by Pebbles. He's like, what the heck? I thought you were gonna be nice and read this pearl for me. He played Artie first. And it took him like 3 streams just to get out of Garbage Priest. Because he didn't know how karma worked. It is actually quite a specific set of circumstances that have to happen for you to learn how karma works. If you want to go down to the right, take that path. And then if you do that on your like second cycle, you want to enter that one room, because then there'll be a dead scavenger body there, the one that's at max karma. And then you have to keep going in the right direction to get to the gate with the scavenger body if you decide to carry it with you for some reason. You know, Frank. He has names for all the slug cats. Survivor is Frank. Artificer is Jackie. Spearmaster is Joshua. And Gourmand is Rip. Or no, that's Rivulet. Rivulet is Ripley. Gourmand is Timothy. Which is it's funny for Rivulet because they actually have a name, so I wonder what he'll think about that. But it is kind of close to what he came up with. Oops. That's the wrong room. Shoot, which room is it? Right. Nope. Where are you? Here? Okay. That makes sense. You know what? I'll go to a different room. I hope that he tries to get more pearls as Rivulets. Because they're one of the more agile characters. It's good for getting pearls. Although cycles are a problem, of course. So, maybe... I mean, what are the chances he gets the refraction cell and then goes and, like, looks for pearls? Because then it's harder to carry pearls when you're holding the cell. But it's easier after getting the cell because the cycles are longer, so... I think the ideal strategy in that case would be to pick up the cell, then drop it off near Submerged, and then go look for pearls. And then when you want to finish the campaign, you can go do that in Submerged, but you know, you'd have to know how the whole campaign is laid out in order to plan that. Yeah, one of the first things that I did when Downpour came out is look for pearls as Rivulet. And I got the one in Outskirts. But that was pretty much it. So eventually I was like, I'm just gonna look them up later. I don't really like looking for pearls. Right, that is a problem. Wait, Saint? Hold up. I just realized that now. Saint has a different version of that pearl. Oh yeah. So apparently this one particular pearl is like extra preserved, even though the rest of them are faded. Also, that is interesting, isn't it? That there's so many of these pearls left around for rivulets. So the pearls are there for rivulet, right? And a decent amount of the pearls were presumably written by ancients, right? And so they're made a long time ago. And yet, by the time you get there, so you can still read them as rivulets, but then you get to Saint and they've all faded. So the time difference between Saint and rivulet must be longer than like the ancients have been gone for, if that makes sense. Just to mention the concept of the pearl, isn't it just the same? The same dialogue of the shipment of whatever. I assume that iterators can make pearls. Because if you take pearls from Pebbles, he doesn't seem to mind that much. We think that if you use them as like permanent storage, or maybe not permanent storage, temporary storage for whatever, that he would care if you took them. If you couldn't make more of them to replace the ones that you take. Can he just take all of his pearls? I don't know if I've seen that. If you can just take all the pearls from the chamber so that he just has nothing left. Right between Spearmaster and Saint on the timeline. So, however much time passed between Spearmaster and Rivulet, that same amount of time passed after Rivulet to get to Saint. I mean, Spearmaster is pretty early, right? Because it's like presumably right after, or it's before Moon collapsed. So like that whole situation with Pebbles and the iterators is going on. I think actually, maybe I should just start doing runs. Oh, that's interesting too. More exposure to the sun due to less rain because the iterators are dying. So I guess like once the iterators start decaying and there's less rain, or maybe just Pebbles after Rivulets, that could accelerate that process. So maybe not as much time passed. And I'll change the remix settings too. What do scavs eat though? That is the greatest question. Or the cold. Yeah, centipedes too. This one I can leave on. I could turn it off. I could. I think that's the only setting. Yes. Semi-Eeks. They do attack Eeks immediately. So they could be hunting them, but if they did do that, then why don't they hunt like literally any other creature? Because most of the time it just seems like self-defense. Like if a predator is trying to attack them, they'll fight back. But if it's like a passive creature, then they just ignore them, except for Yeeks. They're the only exception for some reason. Or maybe not. Maybe there's something that I'm not thinking about. That scavengers will attack. I guess Slowcats kind of counts. I don't have splits up right now. And I'm not recording either. You know what? Let me fix both of those. Just my Slowcat? I do not have that. Maybe I downloaded it just to like... I think I actually needed it for some mods that didn't... There's a handful of mods that don't have their own visuals, and they require you to use Dress My Slowcat to kind of import the skin for the character. Is this the one with all the splits? Yes. Scavs eat pearls. Okay, that's kind of a weird theory. Oh, we threat. This is outskirts. Invaders smell. I don't think so. Not the same way that animals can, but they probably have some sort of senses, some degree, just from like monitoring stuff around the facility. Like that one like warning like broadcast in Moon's Underhang for Spearmaster, the one that says like all the different levels of different chemicals. That's kind of like smell, right? To store the sensation, the qualia. It's less of a like a sense of smell and more like a, if you had a button that you could press that would show you like the composition of the things that you like breathe in. So technically you're getting the same information, but you don't actually have the same sensation, you know? They probably do feel pain though, which is kind of unfortunate. The ancients really did go out and create these massive supercomputers that can't die, but they can feel pain, and they will deteriorate over time. How nice of them. While also leaving them behind with a problem that they have no reason to solve, but also basically the only thing left for them to do. Okay, that was kind of threading the needle there. Yeah, maybe the puppets do have more senses. Like they don't seem to like it when you stab them with the spear, even though it shouldn't really do anything. Why are you following me? Where'd he go? Spider just vanished? He found to the back rooms. Interesting strategy. You know, that's really bad. He's still there. Hello. Welcome to... Can I not fall down like several times in a row? Yeah. Job jumping out of the water. Are they made out of some organic matter? I kind of assume that they are basically just completely robots. Fully mechanical bodies, because it sounds like it when you hit them with a spear. The organic components are part of the iterator structure. I imagine that doesn't really have much to do with the puppet itself. I'm pretty sure that I mean, Moon is very bizarre, considering that she has lost much of her memories and like processing power because she's not connected to the main structure anymore, and plus a lot of the main structure probably just does not function at all, right? Yet she can still like remember a whole lot. Like she has a lot to say about the items that you bring her or the pearls, you know. So she still knows a lot. Is that everything that is like stored in her internal memory of like the puppet itself has some degree of memory outside of the structure? And what are the neurons? How do the neurons contribute, right? Because if you take away the neurons, obviously she's much less capable of doing anything really. So are her memories stored in the neurons? Because she also says that her memories are being restored when you bring your neurons, right? Or something like that, something along those lines. Yeah, Pebbles also is able to survive with, or more. Compared to Moon, he's able to survive without neurons, but maybe that's just because he's a newer model. Newer model of iterators are maybe a little bit more self-sufficient. Honestly, neurons are kind of strange, because it seems like that without any direct connection with Moon herself, they still are able to help her, right? I always kind of think of neurons as little like messengers that carry signals between different parts of the structure. Because you can see neurons sometimes like attached to various things, and like I think you can, right? I'm not just making that up. But I kind of think of neurons as like transmitting signals from one place to another. But like, why not just do that with like wires or something? So I guess they are probably wireless Bluetooth neurons. That's like the idea for like a villain. Maybe this has already been done, but like a villain who wanted to become immortal, so they put their brain in like a external storage device, and they're connected to it wirelessly. So it's like I'm immortal, you can't get me. My brain is somewhere safe, and I'm in this mechanical body or something like that. But then you destroy it because it's not connected to their body, and it's like, no, don't do that, Dr. Bluetooth. Kind of feel like ants. Yeah, like ants. You know, how is Moon even still alive without any direct source of power? How is that explained? Because don't they use the refracting cells to keep themselves powered? And you can take out the refraction cell from Pebbles, and he doesn't seem to mind, at least the puppet. All he says is that the pumps will stop, right, and the gravity cycles too. But he still seems pretty much unaffected when you take out the cell, so how is he staying alive? Do they just have like an infinite battery somehow? Kind of like the... For whatever reason, I make the comparison between that and Firebug eggs. The way that they infinitely stay replenished. Which doesn't really make sense at all. Okay, wow, this really sucks. Because apparently the inside of the Firebug egg is void fluid, and then the outside of the egg is like constantly replicating itself to prevent itself from being dissolved, right? But how does it get the energy to do that when it's disconnected from the body of the Firebug? Speaking of void fluid, it kind of bothers me that Downpour tries to explain the way that rarefaction cells work. Because it's brought up in Vanilla Pearl dialogue about the power of void fluid and the void fluid revolution and all. And Moon is like, she starts explaining how it works, and it's just like, actually, never mind. It's complicated and you're just okay anyway. But adding the dialogue in Downpour that actually explains how the refraction cell works and how like void fluid generates energy, I feel like that's kind of like why does she explain it in this one pearl but not in another pearl, right? She should just have the same reason to not explain it. This is not a very good run. I'm just gonna keep going anyway. I mean, I'm fine with refraction cells and void fluid just being like a sci-fi explanation for how they powered this like crazy technology, right? Maybe they can be like extremely miniaturized into like a very efficient. But then I feel like the void fluid would run out eventually, right? Or maybe not. Maybe no void fluid is consumed in the process, right? But something else is consumed, right? They're still dissolving something. Maybe air. Maybe they breathe. That's how they get energy. Or water. I think they have a lot of water, right? The gameplay was a bigger priority. I think it kind of makes sense because the refraction cells are supposed to be a it's supposed to be a temporary energy source, right? Which I think is kind of strange because the design of the hearts for Moon kind of makes it look very important, right? Like this massive room for like at the very heart of the structure for circulating water through the whole thing, for providing energy. That's exactly where the refraction cell goes, right? All this focus on a backup power source seems a little strange. Like that's where you put your main like power source, your main like void fluid processing, whatever. Also, it is funny that the iterators, you know, they speak so much to the Slugcats. Like, they're still just an animal, right? Obviously, we, as the player, can understand what they're saying, but... Like, why are they saying all this to just a Slugcat, you know? And sometimes they acknowledge that. They're like, you probably don't care about the details, you know? But I guess for Moon, like, if they notice that the Slugcat is repeatedly bringing pearls to them, maybe they are just curious. And so I might as well explain, you know. Either they don't understand and you don't really lose anything, or they do understand and they get to hear what you have to say about the pearls. Now I kind of Mark, you talk to them too. I guess, sure. Survivor, wake up. It's been 10 years. Iterators, echoes. Come on, let's go get some bat flies. Negative matter? Antimatter? Well, the void sea would be a lot more dangerous. Or a lot more, volatile. Not antimatter. Negative energy? Did I accidentally split? I did. Oops. Matter, but reversed. What does that even mean? Negative weight. Just magic. Yeah, like what are we talking about? The science and all this stuff? Nah, it's just magic. I mean, it is. They don't need to explain how it works. Can you do that? Can you just go to the depths, enter the void sea, and then just leave? Use a bunch of spears to climb out, or maybe if you're like Rivulet, you can like use wall pounces or something. Because there's like a few points. There's probably 3 areas that I think that are really hard to climb out of, because there's the entry to the depth itself, but you can get out of that with a crawls from wall climb, right? Or there's the room right after the guardian room, which is like a really big fall, but you can probably get out of that with like just a ton of spears, right? And then there's another room right before the final void sea room. She wants to eat the void fluid. There are 2 types of people. I kind of want to try that now. Just go to the void sea and then just leave. Like, how far can you go before you just can't come back anymore? So I assume that, well, I mean, even like after the void worm drags you down really far, can you just swim back up? I assume it probably loads you into a new area at that point. Kind of like going through a gate. But maybe if you do just swim up a ton, you'll just go back to the top of the void sea. Can you bring back the copies of yourself? The multiple blood cats? Yep, knew that was gonna happen. Okay, so it's getting grabbed by the void worm, the final, the point of no return. It would be a lot easier as another character like Rivulet or Spearmaster with more mobility, or Artificer. It actually probably be really easy as Artificer. The hardest part would be actually getting there in the first place. Hey, that's not very nice. Ah, snail in the perfect spot. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, you go all the way to the void sea and they're like, you know what? Nah, I don't wanna. Time to go back to the tree. That could be a whole speedrun category. Go to the void sea and then go to the tree afterwards. Okay, let's not go back there, okay? Look at randomizer. I don't know. I did do that once, right? Yeah, I did do that. Expedition 2? Perhaps. I do want to do more expeditions, so... I don't know. I'll think about it. I heard the void worm's wet. Well, it's not water. It's void fluid, so I guess not. Is void fluid wet? Is lava wet? That's my favorite version of that question. Is lava wet? Oh, scavengers again. You hit your friend. Is Mercury wet? Probably not. It's really hot over there, right? Pretty close to the sun. I don't think there's any. Whoops, this is the wrong direction. I'm very distracted right now. I don't know if I can do a speeder. Is the sun wet? Maybe I should do something else. Maybe I should try out that void sea thing. I mean, I could go there as Rivulet. That'd be a lot easier, right? Sure. All right, new speedrun. New speedrun. Go to Void Sea and then just leave. Okay, never mind. I still need, what do I need? I need karma. Do I have to get a bunch of egos? I think I do. To get past the guardians. Okay, so this is a pilgrimage run? I guess I know the route for that, right? Guardian skip. I mean, you'd have to go past the guardians twice, right? Go past them one time one way and then another. So they'd probably get mad at you when you're coming back, which is a really weird thing to say for the depths. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna come back. The interesting run is Gourmand because you can kill them. How does the moon feel your hunger with magic? I don't know. It is interesting, isn't it? Wireless Bluetooth food. It's the same thing again. How do iterators kill you with Bluetooth? Probably just I don't know, there's multiple ways. Okay, so what is the route for this again? I think it's to shelter at the top of chimney, and then get the wall echo, then chimney echo, then Sky Islands echo, then subterranean echo. Okay, maybe I don't remember the routes. Subterranean makes sense though, because it's so close to a shelter. Actually, does that? Do I need to go back and check the routes? I mean, lasers. Just focus a bunch of light. Like microwaves. Microwave. It's like that. Although it wouldn't look like that. You wouldn't be able to see anything. I'm gonna check the route real quick. To make sure I know which echoes to get. Not like the route matters, like this is not an actual speedrun. Yeah, I do just get the subterranean echo. And whatever they do for Stream Master to receive the broadcasts, but just way stronger. Wow, that was very close. If the eel didn't decide to change their mind and go for the lizard or for the spider instead. There's a spider there? Oh, that's the weird version of the wall pounce where... the puppet room is just a big microwave. Yeah, maybe that's it. Gourmand went to the Void Sea and then said, you know what, never mind. But they accidentally drank a little bit, and they need to keep eating food so that they didn't dissolve completely. That's the lore for Gourmand. And because Void Food is just magic, and you can just make it do whatever you want, then that explains Gourmand's abilities. There, I solved it. Wait, oops. Well, it doesn't matter too much. I'll get it on the way back. I mean, there already are like masses of flesh in the game. The boxes in memory crypts and a lot of purpose organisms are pretty much exactly that. So honestly, the idea isn't too unreasonable. Nice. I dropped the spear. Yeah, Gourmand actually just has a refraction cell inside of them, generating essentially infinite energy. And with infinite energy, you can make infinite mass. So that's Gourmand can create whatever he wants. That makes sense, right? Oh, there's some movement that you can do here. I haven't even learned it at all. Wait, can you? Is this the wall pounce here? But how do you get up here? I should like figure out what the movement here is, because I think there's been so much tech that's been discovered here. It takes the shape of the refraction cell. Yep. Can I just jump? Just basic platforming skills. You know what? I kind of forgot that I don't have a mask. I've gone up here so many times as like Spearmaster with the mask. Lizards are in fact dangerous. Oh, really? I was right there. Imagine if you could craft slug pups. And they're like roughly the same size as centipedes, right? So why not? What? Something weird about that? You can craft snails. Can you craft snails? Gourmand has something to do with snails. actually, Gourmand decided to... Actually, I'm not gonna say that. That's too cursed. Oops. No, I'm so bad. Gourmand's inside story. That is a very strange concept for a game. It is weird that that is even a thing. Okay, it's been forever since I've done this route. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. I think I need food. Yeah, the moon is made of cheese. Ow. Riv has brain damage. Okay, Echo is very close. Right here. I forget what I did here. I think I see the Echo and then I shelter and then I go back. You know, if 5 pebbles is only made of 5 pebbles, he's like the least dense thing ever. Just 5 pebbles spread across such a huge area. Actually, the least dense thing ever is just like the vacuum of space. That's pretty hard competition. Or maybe just like some random lab somewhere. The really high vacuum. It's weird how many things are like made by humans. Like the hottest thing ever is not some thing in space. No, it's like some lab that was like some particle accelerator made like the highest temperature ever for like an like extremely short amount of time. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't have any food. I did say that I needed food. I guess I'll get the popcorn plant. This isn't the speed run, so it doesn't matter. Coldest thing ever. That does make more sense. Yeah, supernova accretion disks. Although I don't know if those two compare. What does that mean? Same movement as Hunter in that room, but faster. I feel like there has to be some movement here that Rivulet can do. Failed that jump. What jump? I made it here. Okay, subterranean echo, and that's the last one. So this entire idea depends on how possible it is to escape the depths, and also how far I can go into the void sea before returning. So I don't want to just like barely like touch the void sea and then like come back. I want to like go down and like see the void worms, you know. I kind of want to try pilgrimage percent again. Basically what I'm doing right now. Getting all the echoes and then ascending. This is a very interesting chat right now. Hello. Welcome to the stream. This is not a speedrun, by the way. I'm doing an interesting, something very interesting right now. I hate this one plant. I really don't like it. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. Because you just can't see anything. Pebbles really does tell you to ascend yourself now. I do like that little detail, that the iterators are so focused on a singular goal of ascension that they don't even think of what an animal might want. Like, it might want to find its family, it might just want food and like safety, you know. But Pebbles just immediately goes to the conclusion of you want to ascend. That is how focused the ancients were on ascension compared to everything else. I mean, Survivor does eventually find their family, technically, in the Void Sea, right? So technically it works out, you know? Like, yeah, that is what they were looking for. Not like that, you know? Never seen this room before. This is all like a shortcut that Rivulet can take through farm rays. Because the cycles are so short, you might just not have enough time to use the reindeer. So this is like an underwater path that Riv can take. Also Yeeks. I did get food. I probably want to shelter one more time in Subterranean, just so that if I go too far in the Void Sea, I can just come back real quick. Thank you, Karma. Yeah. It's literally just 3 lines. I know that Rivulet can climb out of this room. So, you know, anything is possible, right? If you can get out of this room, you can definitely get out of anything in the void or in the depths. Actually, like most Downpour characters can do that. And maybe just all Slug Cats in general if you just have enough spears. Of course, then time becomes an issue, just finding enough spears to actually climb up the whole room. Characters like Saint, Rivulet, Artificer have more tools than just spears, and then, well, obviously Spearmaster just has all the spears that you need. No, not green lizard. I think it'd be the white lizard. Because when you hit them, they switch between all the colors. Yeah, I'll eat more. Okay, hold up. Don't die of the worm grass. Here, I have a Greeduck. Isn't it scary? Where am I going? I'm going to the depth. I need more food. Rivulet is very hungry. This is a very, very interesting chat right now. That guy just did a crazy jump. I guess they kind of do that all the time, right? Oh, I just realized that what my relationship with the scavengers is. Okay. What are we doing? Are you asking about the chat or the game? Because there's 2 very different things going on right now. What I'm doing in the game, I want to see how far I can get into the Void Sea and still return. Actually, the cycle might be a problem. I might need to cycle or shelter at the very bottom of filtration just to have enough time to make it back and forth, which means I should probably get the refraction cell to just have a longer cycle. I didn't think about that. Actually, if it's raining, I can just swim, so it's not a problem anyway. Rivulet abilities, although it might just instantly kill you at that point. I don't think you actually die in rooms that flood. It's only rooms that have like the rain that actually falls on you. Why are we doing this? What started this whole thing? Oh, that's unfortunate for you, Blue Lizard. Yeah, good job. wish I had a light. That's a spitter. This is very dangerous. Ooh, that's a something. Who knows what's in this room? Was there something there? I think there might have been a spider. Oh, that's a mother spider, so it's actually not very dangerous. Come on. Damn, the spider knows the trick. That's dangerous. Okay, now everyone knows where I am. And now I'm in a place I don't know. Where am what? Okay, I stepped one foot outside of the like 80% routes, and I don't know where I'm going. Oh, passage? Artificer confirmed, once again. That is Survivor. Everything else is fog of war. Yep. I've only explored a small area. Okay, this is probably a short cycle. Actually, not really. For Rivulet, that's a very long cycle. So maybe, actually, I don't think I'll be able to go all the way down to the Void Sea and then come back. There's no way. But I'll have to see if I can. I mean, it's only this one room and the previous room. So 2 rooms that I need to get through flooded. I mean, it's this room, though. And I probably won't be able to see very well. But Rivulet is pretty good, so I believe. Also, you don't even need to do the crawl turn, whatever, because you can just wall pounce. And maybe just wall jump too. Yeah, when it comes to actually like getting past this last, well, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's pretty easy for Rivulet to just come back. So that's not an issue. I will try to do the crawl turn wall climb though. That's funny. New challenge, get from the Void Sea to Farmer A's as Rivulets in a direct path. So you can't go through like Shoreline or something. Or Pipe Yard or whatever. Actually, Rivulet routes. You can go over here. I did it wrong. This is actually like surprisingly difficult. Oops, too far. Dug too deep. Why are you sideways? You good? You just like that? He's different? So this is the room that I'm gonna have to get out of. With probably a bunch of wall pounces. I won't be able to see very well. Even on the job. He's just a little bit tired. I think I want to get past the layer of void worms and then like the point where it's all quiet and there's no longer like as many sound effects from the void worms. From there, try to swim back up. And if I go too far and I can't come back, then I'll just try again. I'll just exit out. I messed it up. Nice. You ever see this screen? Very, very rare camera. Yeah, right before when the worm normally grabs you. I don't think you can come back after the worm grabs you. I can't imagine that being the case. So I know that, at least from this point, the camera is scrolling. If I just go back up from here. See, I can't come back. Can I come back from this room? Actually, I should test that right away. I mean, it should be that bad, right? This is probably the difficult part. So what does this room actually look like? This might be rough. Because I can't really... Well, you know what? Actually, that was really good first try. I can't see anything. Can I wall pounce off of this? Can I just do a backflip? I'll try that. Maybe a crawl spin boat would work. It's hard to get like some speed going. I can get there. If I had a spear... Wait, I can just climb walls. The gravity is so low you can just kind of wall jump up. Okay, so I can make it back from there. I'm gonna go down now. Are they not good as Rivulet? I kind of assume that they'd be really good because Rivulet... Well... I don't know. Yeah, just wiggle fly. Okay, so volume. Actually, I'm gonna reduce the volume of the game because it is loud in the Void Sea. The same height as the backflip? Wow. Oh. That was weird. That was very sudden movement. There may be a point where you hit a trigger and it just unloads everything before this, so maybe I can't come back from here. I don't know, I've never tried. Yeah, Void Worm, I'm a bit lost. Can you help me on my way back? Okay. I'd say at about this point, I've gone pretty far, right? If I went down too much further, the Pokemon were getting me. But this is like pretty much below the layer of all of them. So let's go back. Time is slowing down again. There's a bubble shooting out crazy fast for some reason. Every time I swim boost. Oh. Okay, we're back. I guess I can just wall jump up these. Yeah, it's pretty easy. The timer started again, yeah. That would be weird if the timer just stopped permanently, right? You could just go to the void seed to get the timer to stop and then just come back and do anything you want in a much shorter time because the timer wouldn't be moving. Oh, I hit the ceiling. I didn't think that would happen. Your wall pounce off of this, maybe? Ooh, that was pretty close. Also, sounds can come back because it's no longer super loud. Yeah, now we're getting over it. Maybe like here. I could use a rock right now. Ooh, okay, that worked better. I mean, how possible is this outside of Rivulet and like Artificer? Could you do this as Survivor? Like, could you really get out of these rooms? You could probably make it out of the Void Sea, but can you make it out of just out of this room in the first place? Like maybe if you had like a ton of spears, but are there really going to be enough spears in this one small area? Maybe you could use a grenade. But then, like, once you get past that, how do you get past this room, you know? I guess you could try to bring a, grap worm, right? But how do you get that past the Guardians? Actually sounds a lot more reasonable to do this as Gourmand, because you could craft some stuff, too. Maybe kill the Guardians. Actually, I'm gonna grab these rocks. They actually seem like they could be useful. Yeah, I can't imagine getting a grapple worm past the Guardians. But they do seem like the best option. Jolly co-op. Bring a bunch of slugcats down with grenades and sacrifice each one to use the grenade. Well, you'd only be able to use the grenade to launch a single slugcat up unless you're crazy accurate with like controlling multiple at the same time. And getting them to all launch in the right angle. Because I can imagine that you could hold a grenade and an explosive spear. Both of them can launch you quite a far distance, right? And then maybe use like spears just to climb out the rest of the rooms. You have to be careful with the grenade though. Yeah, you could wiggle flight, but that's not actually possible. We're not actually considering that. And then there's this room too. Which, I mean, Rivulet doesn't mind. Cool. Where am I? Huh. Did not know about that. Okay, I don't want to be over here now. I guess I'll do a pounce. have a hard time imagining how you do this as Survivor. It seems possible with the grab bar, absolutely. You can kind of climb up anything with that. This might be a problem. Okay, that almost worked. No, that's not the right direction. There we go. Okay. What's up? I'm back. Why does the eye flash for a bit? Are they mad at me? What'd I do? It looks like they were offended by that. Like, what are you doing back here? I should go. Well, should I? I'll just go back the normal way. Yeah, they're very confused. No one's ever returned. Just anything that involves the creature, how would you get it out or get it past the guardians both ways? Unless you just got rid of the guardians completely, which is why it might be possible with Gourmand. Or well, the other characters who would be able to get a singularity bomb could not go to Outer Expanse, which I feel like is like an important part of this run. Just the idea of going to the Void Sea and then changing your mind and going to the tree instead. I think that's like more interesting than just leaving the Void Sea. Yeah, Gourmand could do a lot of things. Thank you. Felt like doing that again, I guess. So it's going to be raining. Is the timer still there? Maybe it paused. I don't imagine that would happen though. It's probably completely flooded when I come back. Just checking. It feels pretty flooded. There's a lot to swim through. I don't have any lights. That depth was on though. Okay, well, good luck, Rivulet. Oh, it's not flooded. It's just rumbling. Or does it not flood? It does flood in this room, right? This is precise. I'm close to getting it. All those are almost working. Okay, whatever. Let's do the easier solution. I mean, it feels like it's like about to rain, but it's like about to rain for like a minute now. Okay, this room is flooded. Where am I? It just doesn't flood in this room. That's very strange. I can't see where I am. I need to get through the entirety of this room to the shelter. I also don't have food at all, so I'm starving. Can I... Okay, Rivulet can swim through like several rooms on one... Okay. I can't see where I am at all though, so I'm using the map a lot. Breath meter is there. I didn't even enter the tunnel. Okay, we're in. Green position now. I wish you could see at least just a little bit. And I keep moving the map around accidentally. I should not swim boost. Yeah, probably. I don't think I'm making it. At least light. You should go to Pebbles first before doing this. Average submerged gameplay. I'm not moving very far at all. Yeah, I'm probably dead. Okay, well, it's possible. If I move to that room pretty quickly, I could do that. That's very interesting. I guess that it doesn't really affect the game at all. If you enter the Void Sea, I thought that it might like trigger something. It might like unload some rooms or something. Yeah, I could bring the refraction cell. I don't want to go all the way to Pebbles. I'm quite far away. Here, let's I've had a Gourmand run. Gourmand seems like the only character it'd be reasonable as. Other characters just don't have the movement. Oh, I probably want Beastmaster too. Do I want to bother with this? I don't know. I might just end the stream. But this was a very interesting stream. You can see like sometimes I'm you know, I don't feel great about doing a lot of speedruns in these streams because I either focus on the chat or I focus on the speedrun. I can't really balance the two easily. Although usually when I focus on the speedrun itself, the chat kind of slows down a bit and then it is easier to read, but you know, that kind of defeats the purpose if there's not much in the chat anyway. That's why I've been looking for other things to do, like the challenges. How would you in that one room, the room with the Void Sea? How would you get out of that room? Because all of it's all like overhangs, right? That's like much harder to climb up with a grapple worm. Can I see? So if you had a grapple worm, you could probably make it out of this room just by climbing up the walls. That's pretty easy to do. Out of the room you could do easily. There's two more. This is probably easy with a grapple worm. This is the concern though. How do you get up this? Because that like overhang, I mean, maybe you can grab onto the, you know, why don't I just test it? I'll need Beastmaster. This will be the last thing that I do. And yeah, maybe you could figure out a way to explosive spear it. That's a lot of items to carry. Grapple worm, explosive spear, and then singularity bombs. Although, do you just need to kill the 2 guardians? Because if the 3rd guardian cares at all, they might not want you to, they might not like the grapple worm, right? I don't know if you need to kill all 3 guardians, because if you do, then you need 2 singularity bombs. I guess you could like drop down if you like collect all the items in the filtration shelter, and then like bring multiple down. I mean, you have a lot of time, right? But the problem, actually, the bigger problem with Gourmand is actually getting out. Because you saw how hard it was to get out with Rivulet, who has like 10 times the time underwater. So how would you get out as Gourmand? That seems like a bigger problem. Maybe if you had like a bubble weed. Okay, so 2 things to test. Can you get out of that bottom room? And can you get out with what is this, the world record run? It might be. Whatever, I'm resetting it. Yeah, potentially with a really long cycle, but it still seems like it'd take a really long time to get all the way down to the void sea and then back. It also depends on how far you go into the... Oh, I don't have warp menu. Okay. Shoot, this is actually going to take forever. Okay, resetting again. Yeah, the only characters that can go to Outer Expanse are Gourmand, Survivor, and Monk. And only Gourmand has a good way to actually deal with the Guardians and like come back. Telling this tribe about the void worms. Does anyone know about the void worms? Because like, assuming that the void actually works, or the void fluid actually works as it's supposed to, you shouldn't be able to come back, right? By the time you get down far enough to see the void worms, you should be like already dissolved, right? Although maybe void fluid is like actually really weak, because apparently they're able to transport the stuff with pipes. So maybe it is actually very small amounts of dissolving stuff. Subterranean. So like I don't even know if the ancients know that the void worms exist, unless they created them or something. Like what the void worms are actually is still just kind of a massive mystery. Other than corn. That's definitely confirmed. The void worms are corn. Just a few layers of skin. Okay. How do I get out of here? I'll start with a grop worm. What are you doing? And remember, gravity is still lower, so maybe wall jumps will work. Still. Anyone see what's going on? Electric spear? That's an idea. What does this look like? Okay, there's like a little pocket in the wall. I want to see if I can grab onto the very top of this. I did for a second. Electric spear actually sounds very promising, and the other characters could use it too. Can you pull an electric spear out of a wall even if it's discharged? Because this is basically infinite wall climbing, right? If it does work. That is an effect. Okay, Gourmand. It will make Gourmand tired, so maybe Gourmand is actually not a good option if you only need the electric spear. But then there's some rooms where that'd be more difficult. It's like this room. Just kidding, I don't have the map. Oops. That might have almost been it. Oh, no. Okay, that can't happen. Actually, I guess if you get tired, you can't throw the spear again. So you need to wait to recover every time. Okay, well I know it's possible to get up here, so I'm just gonna go all the way up. Yeah, how would you get an electric spear? You can probably find them, right? Still as survivor. And you can't craft them. Oh, I'm still being pushed forward by the spear momentum. That's funny. Okay, I don't even know where the spear is. I think it's too far in the wall to actually be useful. As Hunter, well, Hunter makes sense. Hunter is closer to, I think elite scavengers can spawn for Hunter. I mean, that's better. That's a better location. You need to kind of like fall down and then like spring back up. I apologize if this is an awful viewing experience. That's very close. And the spear's like almost too high to grab now. If it is where I think it is. Oh. Okay, actually I might have just thrown it away. I might have had it right there. And now I'm falling again. Imagine opening the stream without context. Yep, this is definitely Rivulet. Uh-huh. Okay, we're up. It's possible. Hey, this is the right music too. Thank you, playlist. I don't have in-game music on right now. So I imagine the rest of the rooms are going to be really easy. That'd probably be even easier as non-gourmand character. AKA survivor. Because you can actually throw the spear multiple times without getting tired. Although, you know, actually getting the grapple worm down would be a bigger problem. I mean, I imagine that you could probably take some items into the depths if you just store them in the shelter beforehand, right? So you in the shelter you could have like singularity bombs, the grapple worm, the electric spear, bubbleweed, and then just try to like do a few trips back and forth to bring them all down to the depths. You can do all of that like while the cycle is still going. And then once you enter the depths, the time doesn't matter, of course. So you can just kind of bring all those items down, deal with the guardians, bring the stuff down, leave the bubbleweed at the entrance. Although I don't even know if bubbleweed is enough to get you back. You know, actually, something I'm gonna do real quick. You'd probably also want to bring food so that you can actually shelter immediately afterwards. Although I guess if you starve, it's not a huge deal. As long as you get food at some point afterwards. But for gourmand food would be kind of a bigger issue. Record pace. This is I have so many mods on. Yeah, I'm also gonna test if the bubble weed works. Because you can swim much faster with a bubble weed. And being able to see helps too. Although, having a ironfly as a requirements is kind of rough. Although you could just craft one too. I don't know if there's an easy crafting recipe. I think there's one with like overseer eyes. Ooh, shelter failure. That's actually a good idea. Try to see if maybe extending the cycle as long as possible could give you enough time. Because a really long shelter failure plus it's trying. I don't know, I can't tell yet. Twitch is up? Oh, YouTube is up. I think it's alive. Is it? I might be making it up. Hello? Okay, I've entered the next room. Okay, Twitch looks functional. Is YouTube okay? I think it's working. Okay. Sorry about that. OBS has decided to give up. Well, this is the actual room that is important, so you guys didn't really miss anything. I was just waiting there. I wonder what the Guardians will think of this. So I did just kind of cheat my way in here. Also, is this a problem? I hope this isn't a problem. You should be able to just... Okay, hold on. Yeah, there we go. So that works. You can actually make it all the way past. He's probably not going to be very happy. Yeah, I guess I could drop it, but they're going to be mad at me too, so I don't think it makes a difference. They should think that it's the first time that I'm seeing them and just toss me to the side and not actually try to kill me. Or gourmand is simply too heavy to pick up. Ow. Dude, did I kill the grab form? No. Okay. Gourmand is too powerful. Anyway, you guys know what the depths are like. I'm just gonna do this. I like this is the interesting part of the run. How viable is this run? It feels like a lot of things would need to work out for this to be possible. I'm still kind of doubting how you'd get to the filtration shelter. That's the main concern that I have. That's fun. So it's not raining now. It's about halfway through the cycle. So think about that. I pretty much... Have you not seen that yet? That's the... I guess I did kind of just ignore that. That's the new tech that was discovered recently. The crawl, turn, wall, climb. I mean, it's exactly what it looks like. So I started infiltration, and it is now halfway through the cycle. So maybe just barely with the shelter failure too. It would take half the cycle to get from here down to the depths, and then half of it to come back. But also I did just skip like a bunch of rooms with dev tools, so actually ignore what I just said. Okay, well, next test. Let's wait here for a bit. I'll drop these items. I guess they're not important after this point. But what I would have prepared would be a bubble weed, right? Once you get to the shelter, everything is fine, and you can just move on as normal. Although you would need to talk to Pebbles first. Although you probably need to talk to Pebbles anyway, right? To get a neuron, to get the karma, that make things easier. Although actually it probably doesn't make a difference. Okay, there's actually a lot of time left. Is there a button to just get to the end of the cycle? For dev tools? I like how the grapple... Wow, the grapple has really traveled very far. They're all the way up there. Look at them go. Infiltration project going on infiltration. Yeah, there's some construction or something. I don't know if you can do that. You might not be able to regurgitate items when you're underwater. Grapple worm was required to actually make it out. Although maybe you could do most of the work with the electric spoon. You don't actually need the grapple worm, but I kind of doubt that. You can't set up items underwater? Okay. So that wouldn't work. Gameplay. Mm-hmm. Okay, 1 minute left. I mean, I imagine that you would bring the bubble weed from the shelter and store it right here, if you do need to do this. I don't mind the music, it's just very chill right now. In just a bit. Why does it look like it's raining normally? Okay, there we go. I'll just wait here for a little bit. Oh, there is a button? Okay. That's cool. That's cool to know at the end of the cycle. Alright, well, let's see. This tunnel's gonna take a long time, though. Also, this looks very interesting. No, wrong way to shoot. That's a mistake. Perfect movement not showcased. Okay, bubbleweed is out. Okay, even without the mistakes, I only made it like halfway through the room. Even if I didn't get stuck, I can't check the map. Alright, well, I'm kind of doubting that. Oh, yeah, that was the first cycle. So what? I can't see getting a jetfish down there. Maybe? I don't think a jetfish gets you any further than bubbleweed. And that'd be kind of annoying to manage. So where's that room? I think the super long cycle might be a good idea with the shelter failure. Because it did take me a really long time to get out of the Void Sea. In the room ahead of time, does that work? Can you do that? So halfway through the room, you would pick up the second bubbleweed. This is so absurd. But I don't know, we spent so long waiting. It might actually be possible to do the whole thing in a single cycle. If you really just speedrun your way through. It's gonna be faster to go to the depths than it is to escape, right? So that's a little bit of time saved. Like it's gonna take a lot longer to get out of the Void Sea. Because you're you also have to do so much setup, like you need to kill the Guardians. Also, how do you kill the Guardians? If you're bringing a grapple worm and an electric spear, you can only bring one singularity bomb. Is one singularity bomb enough to deal with the Guardians? I guess that the first Guardian doesn't care, and you just need to kill the last two, right? Does filtration even have pre-cycles? It does. Although there's a chance that the entirety of filtration will just be flooded already. So that would be unideal. That's probably not even a word. But there can be a pre-cycle, but if there is a pre-cycle, then there's a random chance that it is flooded. So that would just make it impossible to get down. If you kill the Guardians, will they be dead the next cycle? That would be really interesting. Go kill the Guardians, come back. Sure, I'll test that right now. That's not the right region. They should respawn. Okay. They're dead. That tools, please. Can you eat them? Maybe I should have tested that. Grimond probably would try. They do sometimes move around a bit. Maybe you could try to use that to Another idea is to bring the ingredients for a grapple worm, and then craft them. Craft them once you get past the Guardians. Although, how do you craft a grapple worm? It might involve a living creature anyway, like a centipede. Actually, no. You can use something. There's a way to craft it, right? I think there is. No, that's a Guardian. Okay. So you do need to kill them on the cycle. Or have enough karma and just don't bring the grapple worm and craft one instead. How do you craft a grapple worm? Okay, there are recipes that don't involve a living creature, so you could bring the ingredients. Don't bother with killing them. that's even more items to bring. Okay, well, I need to end the stream eventually. You guys can just think about this if you want. The possibility of this being an actual run, I don't know about that. Because there's so much preparation that you need to do. There's I mean, if I were to do like a speed run of it, quote unquote, you know, I don't think I would take it very seriously. But maybe one stream where I just try to do the whole run, just to just show that it's theoretically possible, or that's not theoretically, but show that it is actually possible, I guess would be the point. Yeah, if you could regurgitate some items just randomly, although that's inconsistent and you don't want to spend all the time to set it up just to like not get lucky when you want a specific item. Also, we need to find out how possible it is to actually get an electric spear. See if it actually spawns for Gourmand. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.